What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris, and I ride a 2019 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob 107. Today I'm going to talk about not an accident, but it's a road rage experience on my part and a dumb guy that almost hit me. This happened a while back. I wanted to make a video about it for a while. I'm not sure what has kept me. I've had other stuff on the plate. But here's the video. So now I'm going to show you a beautiful, well done diagram of how it happened using props and such that I've taken a lot of time to do. So there's that. Okay, so I am going to be represented by this motorcycle, and the other driver is going to be represented by this outboard engine golf cart. Okay, so for sake, I'm using my child's playmat, and for sake of recording and demonstration purposes, this is 2 lanes right now. However, this right part is basically, there's 2 straight lanes here, and this lane we're going to pretend was the turn lane I was going into, okay? So I had just left my haircut place. I'm driving. This is a left turn lane. I got to wait to make a U-turn to go back the way that I need to go, okay? And yes, it was U-turn able, so it wasn't like I was making a illegal U-turn or whatever. So I'm here, I'm at a light. I am stopped at a red light with my left turn signal on in a left turn only lane, okay? Now keep in mind, this whole time I had my clutch engaged and I wasn't in neutral, I was in first, and every time I'm at a light on the bike, I always make sure I look at my surroundings, both coming at me, because I've seen people come from intersections all over the place and wind up hitting somebody because they made a wrong turn, and then coming into your lane when you're stopped. So I pay attention to all that jazz. And I look behind me all the time because I've seen a lot of bad accidents like that also, unfortunately. So anyway, I'm at this. I have my left turn signal going. This is my left turn signal right here, okay? Left turn signal, blinking, blinking, okay? And this guy comes up, and I think he's gonna stop behind me like a normal human being that knows how to drive. And this guy all of a sudden goes around the solid white line, parks in half the intersection, like almost right about a foot, if that, away from my damn bike, okay? And keep in mind, we have a red light. This is still a red light, okay? So this guy, about a foot away from me, he's like splitting lanes right now because I'm in the left third of my lane, but I'm not far enough over to the point where like he could have shared the lane in the lines with me, okay? And it's an old guy, and I see him, and I look at him, and he's not looking at me, and then all of a sudden he makes the left turn on red. Whew. So obviously that pissed me off. It scared me a little bit, but because it was happening slow, it just pissed me off more than anything, okay? So as soon as this light turns green, I make the U-turn like I need to, and I see that this guy is parked in traffic. Let's say that this is another lane and not a play hospital. So he's parked in traffic. It's a couple lanes over here. It's either 2 or 3. So instead of taking the high road, and I'm not necessarily proud of this, but instead of taking the high road and just either getting behind him or a different lane or whatever, I go up right next to him because the lane to his right was open, right next to him, and I look at him, and he's looking down, like all the way down at his phone. So this pissed me off even more. So I wind up talking to him, or I wind up trying to knock on his window, and he's not answering his window, which rightfully so. I mean, I probably wouldn't either in that situation. Like, but it's just it got to the point where I was really pissed off, and I should have done a better job controlling it. But I was just really heated with this guy for literally breaking traffic rules and going like it. Anyway, so I knocked on the window pretty hard until he opened. Now I wasn't knocking aggressively, like I wasn't knocking with something hard. I was knocking with my knuckles. I just had my gloves on, so they may have been, you know, muffling the sound a little bit. So anyway, I knock on his window, and he finally rolls down the window. He's like, "Yeah?" And I'm like, "Do you know you almost just ran over me and killed me over there?" And he's like, "Oh, no?" And I'm like, so then I got pissed, and I didn't call him any names, but I told him how dangerous it was, what he was doing. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm lost. I'm not sure where I'm going." I'm like, that doesn't mean you need to Jesus. That doesn't mean you need to run a red light just to make a turn. Like, just because you don't know where you are, that's not an excuse for making a left on a red turn signal. So I exchanged my words of safety with him and to caution him to drive not like a dumbass anymore. Again, I did not call him any names, no unnecessary gestures. I never flicked him off. I never said, you know, go F yourself or any of that crap. Basically just, I was yelling because I was upset, but I basically told him how dangerous he did, or how dangerous what he did was, and all of that jazz. So that's my story. All right, guys. So you saw the little diagram, little show I did with the props and whatnot about what exactly happened. It could have been worse. He could have hit me. He could have been really not paying attention. So he could have hit me. I could have tried to do something while he was right there. Ideally what should have happened is I should have not done anything at all. I should have ignored it. Pardon my child's noises. I should have ignored it. I should not have done anything, and I should have let it go. But I was very heated, and it's easier said than done. However, every time something does happen in the future now, I think about that, and I try to force myself not to overreact on stuff. So hopefully this story, if you're watching it, hopefully you'll think about this the next time somebody does something stupid, which if somebody hasn't done something stupid to you on a bike yet, I'm sure you are either the luckiest individual in the world, or you've barely been riding a long time, because there are idiots in every state, town, country, wherever you go. They do not pay attention to motorcyclists. They don't understand how dangerous stuff is. They've not seen any bad accidents. They don't know anybody. They just don't. They don't care. I mean, they treat cars the same way, but obviously motorcycles are a lot more dangerous. You don't have a cage to protect you for anything, so which is why they're awesome. So takeaways, like I said, I should have not done anything, and what I did good was I saw the car. I saw what was happening. I watched the entire thing happen. I could have gotten out of the way if I needed to. My first gear was engaged the whole time. I was in gear. I was holding in the clutch. I wasn't in neutral, so that was one less part of reaction time that I would have had to take out of the equation had I been in neutral and I had to make some sort of evasive maneuver, whether I needed to make a U-turn real quick or get out of the way to the right or what. Just always monitor in front of you, especially at like a huge four-way intersection. That's the worst. Monitor what's in front of you. Check your rear views constantly. I usually, after there's about 2 or 3 cars lined up, depending on how long the light is, that's when behind me, 2 or 3 cars lined up behind me, that's when I will switch into neutral. Other than that, I'll stay in first. If there's no one behind me, I will never be in neutral. I will always be in first. And that's something I've gotten better about as the years have gone by. I used to go in neutral as soon as I hit an intersection, give my wrist, hand a brake, sit up or whatever, but it's not worth your life. Just always stay in first. That's the easiest way to do it. So hopefully you took something interesting away from this. It's a little bit of a shorter video for me, so hopefully you guys will watch it all the way through and enjoy it. Let me know if there's any near-death experience you guys have had. I've had some other stuff, accident-wise, maybe I'll share from years and years ago. Maybe I'll make videos on that, but this happened relatively recently, and I figured it would be really cool to show you with my kids' toys. So, like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it, took something away from it. Maybe it'll save you next time you're in a road rage incident and you want to say something to some dumbass that does something stupid, and you think of this video and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't because it's not worth it. So, all right, guys, have fun and ride safe. Till next time, see ya.